Hello everyone. So today we will discuss about from CPET. We will discuss about CPET 2020. Already we have discussed already 15 questions. So next we will start from 16 question. So in the 15 question, if you like that video, then please share it so that it will be helpful for others. And also if there are any mistake, please comment there. And please subscribe the channel so that it will motivate me to do further video. Okay, so we will discuss from question number 16. So what is the 16 number question? So the question 16 is asking to you that the efficiency of Carnot engine working between the steam point and the ice point is what? So what is the efficiency percent when the change is from steam to ice? So we know, so आमे जानिचे जे steam होची हमरो बाष्प जोटा आ ice होची बरफ, तो temperature टा कोठु कोठी change होची ना हमरो steam point. So what is the steam point? So the steam point is nothing but 100 degree Celsius. ଯେତେବେଳେ 100 degree Celsius होची तो पानीटा बाष्प होची आ हमरो रहुची ice पानी केते 0 degree Celsius, right? So 0 degree Celsius, and okay, we have to transfer this to Kelvin. So that will be 337 degree Kelvin, and this one is your 273 degree Kelvin. Because we know that x degree Celsius is nothing but 273 plus x degree Kelvin, right? So remember another also Fahrenheit, that means 9/5 into degree Celsius into that will be your degree Fahrenheit. So this is the conversion, your degree Celsius to Kelvin and degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, right? So this is the change in temperature. So he was asking to obtain the efficiency of the Carnot engine. Okay, we know the efficiency. What is the efficiency for Carnot engine? So you have to remember this efficiency for Carnot engine, that is 1 minus T2 by T1, right? So what will be the answer? 1 minus, that is your 273 divided by 373. 273 divided by 373, because it is given the Carnot is working between the steam point and the ice point. So this is the steam point, right? So that will be T1, then 2 ice, so that will be 2T, T2. Okay, so he's given steam to ice, right? So this is steam and this is ice. Then you substitute, then you will obtain the efficiency and transfer it to percentage. Then what you will obtain? You will obtain this one. You solve this one. You will obtain as 0.2680, and this is nothing but your 26.8%. Okay. So this is your answer. So simply remember this formula and remember what is T2, T1. This is the final and this is the initial. The transformation you solve using the efficiency, then transfer it to percentage, your answer you will obtain. So एथुरु आमे कोन जानिले ना हमरो एंट्रोपी, दैट इज थर्मोडायनामिक्स रो किछि क्वेश्चन आसुची. तेणु थर्मोडायनामिक्स रो वर्क डन भी तुमको मन रखा को पड़िबो, जो रोची हमरो आइसोथर्मल, एडियाबेटिक, आइसोबारिक, आइसोकोरिक प्रोसेस तार वर्क डन कोन रोची. तेणु वर्क डन ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आसी पारे. तेणु एटा होची आउ मन रखिथिबो टेंपरेचर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन भी आसी पारे. डिग्री सेल्सियस रो केल्विन करबा आ डिग्री सेल्सियस को फारेनहाइट करबा. ओके, सो टेल द डिग्री सेल्सियस देइछि ताहाले से जगह ताको सब्स्टिट्यूट करो, 5 से तो डिवाइड करो, 9 को गुणो, तापर -32 you will get degree Fahrenheit. So this is the thermodynamics question, right? So try to solve thermodynamics questions and remember the important thing is the work done. This is important. So you have to remember the work done formula. What is the work done in isothermal? What is the work done in adiabatic? What is the work done in isobaric and the isocoric? Remember, the work done in isocoric process is 0. Okay, so the work done in isocoric process is 0. and your isothermal, that is temperature constant, and adiabatic heat constant, then isobaric pressure constant, then isochoric volume constant. Okay, so you have to remember that what is the equation of isothermal process, that is PV equal to constant, right? But in adiabatic process it is PV to the power gamma equal to constant. Okay, so then your isobaric process, that is pressure constant, and your isochoric process, that is volume constant. And remember, what is the work done formula? This is nothing but integration of PdV. Okay, so the work done formula is integration of PdV, and another formula, that is your PV equal to nRT. So this is the gas equation, and remember what is R? R equal to nothing but, so one relation is that actually R is the universal gas constant, but another thing is the that is K, universal gas constant. So that is R, that is your 8.314 Joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse, and remember the R is nothing but, so this is equal to your K into Na, right? So R equal to K into Na. So what is K? K is your Boltzmann constant. So what is K? K is your Boltzmann constant. Remember, so what is Na? Na is your Avogadro's number, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, right? So this is a number. So your Na is a number and K is the Boltzmann constant. So K will be R by Na, right? So your K, that is Boltzmann constant, that will be R by Na, and that is a 6.03, that is your R is 8.314 Joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse divided by your 6.023 1.23. So that will be nearly came 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23, and the unit is Joule Kelvin inverse. So the unit is Joule Kelvin inverse. So try to remember this. So these are all about your thermodynamical thermodynamics. So try to remember first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics. Then these are the important things. Okay, so next question is your 17th question, that is about your second law of thermodynamics. So he is asking, two ends of the rod are kept at 127 degree and 227 degree. Then 2000 calorie of heat flows in this rod. Then the change in entropy. So this is the second law of thermodynamics that told us about entropy. Okay. So the 0th law of thermodynamics told us about the temperature, right? Temperature was derived in this 0th law. And the first law gives us the energy. That means total energy cannot be converted to all work, right? Or all heat cannot converted to work, right? So this is called about internal energy, that tells us about internal energy. This is your first law. Okay, and the second law told about the entropy. So what is entropy? Actually we find it in terms of change in entropy. That will, okay, so remember delta Q equal to T delta S. So your delta S will be delta Q divided by T, right? So remember delta S is your delta Q divided by delta T, or this is T is the change in temperature and delta Q is the change in the heat. Okay, so look to your question now. So the temperature is kept 127 and 227, right? When 200 calorie of heat flows. Okay, so हमको कौन देइछे ना डेल्टा Q रो वैल्यू देइछे. So डेल्टा Q रो वैल्यू हमको दे देइछे. So एटा ला एंट्रोपी, एटा ला तार फार्मूला यूज करिया पाई जोटा ला सेकंड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स. So डेल्टा Q हमको देइछे कौन गिवन अछि डेल्टा Q होचे 2000 calorie, right? Okay. Again the temperature is changing 127 and 227, right? So what is our T? This is the change in temperature. Change in temperature. Our eta हमको देइछे 227 minus 127. So this is nothing but your 100 degrees Celsius, right? But we have to change it to Kelvin, right? Okay, so in this way we can find out the change in temperature, because remember there is a mistake. So remember, this change in temperature is in Kelvin, right? So this one is Kelvin. In thermodynamics we use, because the fundamental unit is Kelvin, the temperature SI unit is Kelvin. Okay, so we have to transfer. So the what is T1, that is given 227, right? Sorry, this is 127. So that will give you, again change this to Kelvin. Okay, so the T1 temperature is 127 degrees Celsius. So when that will convert to Kelvin, so we have to multiply 273. Sorry, we have to add 273. So that will give you 400 degree Kelvin. Then what is T2? T2 is nothing but 227 degrees Celsius. So you just add 273. So that will give you 500 degree Kelvin. Because now we studied that your degree Celsius is nothing but 273. Degree Kelvin is nothing but 273 plus degree Celsius. Right. So this is the transformation of 10 Celsius to Kelvin. Now, so what is the change in temperature? So that is 500 and this is 400. So your T is 100 degree Kelvin. This is nothing but your T2 minus T1. Right. So this is the change in temperature. Now, what will be the entropy? So your entropy, this is 2000, right? And here we obtain 100. So this is nothing but 20. So your answer is 20 calorie per Kelvin, right? Because we divided this calorie divided by Kelvin. So 20 calorie by Kelvin. Okay, so this is the second law of thermodynamics. So you remember all law of thermodynamics and the work done in thermodynamics and the different processes of thermodynamics. Okay, so this is about your entropy, that is your change in entropy, and this is nothing but change in heat divided by your change in temperature. Okay. So now we will go to question number 18. So what is the question number 18? This is asking about your velocity, right? So this is your molecular physics part. So the molecular structure and the velocity. So this is simple thing. You have to remember what is the most probable velocity, what is the average velocity, and the root mean square velocity. So in molecular physics, try to remember what is the most probable velocity. So most probable velocity is nothing but 2RT by m is root over, right? Then what is average velocity? This is called as mean velocity, and we denoted it as v bar. So this is nothing but 8RT by pi m, right? Sometimes k also here write in place of r, that is your Boltzmann constant. Sorry, I have told this is Planck's constant, but this is Boltzmann constant. Okay, so next is your next is your RMS velocity, that is your 3RT by m, and it's root over. Okay, so these are the three velocities in molecular physics. This is most probable velocity, and this is average velocity, and this is RMS velocity. So if you understand that there is nothing but this is related to this is related to root 2, and this is related to root 8 by pi, and root pi, and this is related to root 3, right? So if we calculate using your calculator, you can observe this thing, that your VRMS is greater than V average, and this is greater than most probable velocity, right? So this is the technique, is the velocity. So you have to remember this formula. It is the formula for most probable velocity, and this is for average velocity, and this is for RMS velocity. Remember, I have told that k value that is not Planck's constant. This is actually Boltzmann constant. Okay, so this is Boltzmann constant. Sorry, there was a mistake. So this is Boltzmann constant, and R is your universal gas constant, and the relation between them is that R equal to K into Na. Okay, so K equal to R by Na. That will give you 8.314 Joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. Okay, so this is all about your velocity in molecular physics. So try to remember this three velocity, And when you are comparing which one is greater than, remember there is r, there is t, there is n, there is r, there is t, there is n. So what is the difference? There is root 2, there is root 8 by pi, and there is root 3. So if you calculate using calculator, that will RMS velocity is greater than average and they greater than most probable velocity. So try to remember this thing. Okay, so next we will go to question number 19. That is asking about you the residue. The residue of, so this is the direct formula. So this is asking you to find out the residue of j by j minus a into j minus b. So what is the residue formula? Remember there is a direct formula because okay, so there is root, okay, two root, one is a, another root is b. So when two root is there, remember the residue will be limit z tends to infinity z into f of z. Okay, so this is your f of z, right? So this is f of z. So remember there is two residue. So what is the residue formula? So this is the question. So this is the formula to find out the residue. Remember there are two root, one is a and other is b. Okay, and remember there is a contour not given, right? So this is complex quantity and one contour should be given, but since contour is not given to you, so both are the roots for this f of j. Okay, if contour is not given, so both are the roots of f of j. So you use this formula, right? If this is for two root, okay, for n root, what will be the residue formula? Remember the residue formula is limit z tends to infinity z to the power n minus 1 into j. Okay, so this is the residue formula for n number of roots. So these are roots a and b. You take the denominator 0. How will you find the root? Take the denominator 0 and you will find out the number of roots. So one is a and one other is b. So I think you can solve now this. So this is nothing but limit z tends to infinity. One is z square in the numerator and denominator. You take one z outside, so that will be 1 minus a by z and another 1 minus b by z into z square. Okay, so I think you can solve now. So this z square will be cancelled and one infinity is there, another infinity is there. So that factor will be 0, that factor will be 0. So your answer is 1. Okay, so this is the residue and you have to find the limit. But remember this is the residue formula if there is no contour given, right? Okay, remember, so what do we learn from this question? That complex questions are asking to us, right? Complex questions are asking to us. So you have to remember the residue theorem, then find out the integral. Sometimes it will ask to you find the integral f of z dz, and contour will be given to you. Contour, right? Contour will be given to you. That means your z may be equal to a, or that may be less than equal to a. So okay, so these are the contours. So remember, you have to remember the contour integral, and this is nothing but 2 pi I into summation of bi. Okay, that is I into n. If this is nth residue, right? So these are the residue. What is b? B is the residue. So if you don't know the complex number, then read it. So, okay, so 2 pi I into bi. But there are various formula to find out this bi, because this is the residue. That means this is nothing but 2 pi I into b1 plus b2 plus b3. Okay, so 2020 रे हमको कौन देइछि ना रेसिड्यू फाइंड आउट करिया पाए. बट एई वर्ष 2021 रे तो हमको पचारि पारे भी एमिति जे फाइंड आउट दिस इंटीग्रल. Okay, so how we will find this integral? Remember this is closed contour. So how we will find out the if you remember, if all roots are outside contour, then your answer will be 0. That means you have to find first the residue, right? Sorry, the roots. Okay, so you have to find out the roots. If the roots that will be inside the contour, then use the residue, and this is outside contour, so that will be 0. Okay, so you try to remember the complex number. We cannot study in a single class that well. That is a big topic, complex number. So this is the general formula. Try to remember. Then how we will find the residue, right? So there are various formula to find out the residue. You use that formula and study about the complex number little bit, but this is important, how we will find the residue and how we will find the integration. So these are the two types of question coming in the complex number. Then remember another thing also coming, that z equal to a plus ib, and that can be converted to r into e to the power I theta. So how we will find r? R is nothing but a square plus b square, it's a root over, and the theta is nothing but tan inverse b by a. So this is also another type of question, this can be also asked. Okay, so transfer this complex form into polar form. So that is a plus ib equal to r e to the power I theta, e to the power I theta. So what is r? A square plus b square root over, what is theta? Tan inverse b by a. Now I am जानिछे e to the power I theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So this is the cosine and sine transformation. Then another thing also asked to you, that proves that your okay. So these are all part. Another proof also there is that is the existence of this complex function. So okay, so try to remember everything. So this is all about your complex shape. So read just about whatever you can read about the complex number. There are various lectures available in the YouTube, and also there are various PDFs available in Google Meet, in Google. So you can study about a little bit more about the complex number. Okay. So next is the 20 question, that is the Fourier transform of the function. There is limit missing. Okay, so if the Fourier transform is given to you, okay, so then find out the Fourier transform of derivative of f of x. So from this question we understand that the properties of Fourier transform is most important. So you have to remember what are the Fourier properties. I have given, look to your desktop. So look on the screen, there is given the Fourier transform formula. So try to remember all everything and the properties of the Fourier transform. So one property is here is given that, remember when we transfer the Fourier transform, that is we call fk or fsk, we can call it Fourier transform. So this is nothing but minus infinity to infinity f of x. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform of f of x. The Fourier transform of f of x e to the power ikx into dx, right? This is the Fourier transform of f of x. Okay, so remember this is the integration with respect to x, but k is there, but we are taking the integration with respect to x. We are taking the integration with respect to x, so k will be constant. So when you integrate, that is from minus infinity to infinity, so this is a definite integral, right? So if we will solve this, we will get the answer in terms of k. जदि आमे याको solve करबा ताले आमे k रे answer पाइबा, सेति पई एठी मु लेखिले f of k. But एटा होचे Fourier transform of कहार f of x. जदि तुम माने पढिथिबो Fourier transform, ताले जानिथिबो जे यार Fourier transform होचे एटा. ओके, सो एटा भी तुमको क्वेश्चन ने दे देछि किंतु लिमिट टा मिस करछि. देन से कहूछि ताहाले okay, I am again writing that this is the Fourier transform of f of x, right? So this is the Fourier transform of f of x, and like this is the f of k. Okay, so then he asks me what will be the Fourier transform of del f by del x. So remember there is a property, so that answer will be minus ik whole to the power n into your f of k. Okay, so this is the formula, the Fourier transform of nth derivative equal to minus ik whole to the power n. So this is nth derivative, right? So this is the nth derivative. Okay, so sorry, I have written here partial derivative, that is ordinary derivative. So this is the formula that you have to use, and you want to remember these things. Actually you can derive also this thing. If you take the first derivative, is asking to you what is the Fourier transform of df by dx, right? So what will be the answer? The answer will be minus ik into f of k, right? So this will be the answer. But you can also solve this as a right? So this is option C. Okay, so you can also try this in another way. This is the Fourier transform of f of x, right? F of x. Now, what will be the Fourier transform of df by dx? You substitute here df by dx, then do the integration, you will get also this. So this is the another technique. But you can easily, if you remember these things, you can easily find out. Otherwise, if you want to take the derivative here, so you have to take the derivative here, then do this integration, you will obtain this one, right? So this is the Fourier transform, and remember the properties that are given. So that will be helpful for you to solve this Fourier transform. Okay. So I'm calling it a Fourier transform will be question mastery. The Fourier transform, beta function, gamma function, then your legendary Hermite polynomial. So these are important things. Okay. So now again look to the question number 21. That is Laplace transform. So Laplace transform question also coming. Okay. So I think you understand now the question. Again here also given. So that f of s is the Laplace transform of 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t. So remember this is nothing but the Laplace transform of f of t. Okay. Quantity is there because this is integration. So remember what is the Laplace transform of f of t? This is 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. I think you know about the Laplace transform, okay, because we cannot start it from the beginning. So this is the Laplace transform of f of t, and he is asking to you what is the Laplace transform of kt, right? So what is the Laplace transform of kt? So what will be the answer? This will be 0 to infinity e to the power minus st into f of t. This is the Laplace transform of f of t. But Laplace transform of kt, what will be? It will be kt into dt. Okay, in place of f of t, you write kt. Because this is the Laplace transform of f of t. But question asks you Laplace transform of kt. So just substitute kt here, then do the integration. But remember one more important thing. So what will be the formula? If you have time, then do the integration. But another technique is there, which we can calculate in 1 second. So remember, Laplace transform of some constant e to f of t is nothing but that constant will be outside, then Laplace transform of f of t. So this is one formula we will use here. And what is the second formula? The second formula is that Laplace transform of t to the power n. Laplace transform of t to the power n equal to n factorial divided by s to the power n plus 1. So remember, this is also another technique. So if constant is multiplied with f of t, then what will be the Laplace transform? Take the k outside, take the constant outside, then this is Laplace transform of f of t. Okay. Now another thing. Okay, remember one more thing. Here f of t should not be equal to 1. ଏଠି Laplace transform f of theta 1 न होइतिबा दरकार, right? Okay, so these are the technique. Okay, another I am telling you that what is the Laplace transform of k. That means any constant. This is nothing but k by s. So these are the various results that is important to you. You have to remember the various function, that is the various equations of the Laplace transform. I am giving you in the screen, so look to the screen. So these are the various formula of the Laplace transform, right? Okay, so तीन नंबर फर्मुलाटा आमको अब दरकार नहीं, तो आमको 1 और 2 यूज करिवार अछि। 3 नंबर फर्मुलाटा सेतबे अप्लाई हबो जेतबे f of theta 1 सहित समान होतबो, किंतु एटी f of theta kt देछि 1 नो f of theta कोन देछि kt देछि, ताले आमे 1 और 2 को यूज करिवा। तो जेहेतु kt देछि, राइट, जेहेतु kt देछि ताले आमे कोन करिवा, तो k हमर बाहर को पळि आसीबो। सो एटा कोन हबो ना k इनटू Laplace transform of t, right? So what is the Laplace transform of t? Remember this formula, here n equal to 1, so your answer will be 1k is there, so that will be k by s square. So the answer is k by s square. So remember what 1 and 2 formula are used here, then you will obtain the Laplace transform. So answer is k by s square, that is your option B. Okay, so next we will go to question number 22. So what is the question number 22? Okay, so question number 22 is given to you. When an electron jump from the fourth orbit to the second orbit, one can get which series? Lyman, Balmer, Pascal, bracket, P-point. So these are the series that are obtained. So this is your CPET question, and this is your atomic physics question. So from this question we learn this thing that atomic physics you have to read, right? This is your CHSS question. That means what is the velocity if it is in nth orbit, then what is the radius of the orbit, then what will be the energy of orbit, then the energy transformation. That means if it is moving from higher to lower, then it will release energy, and if it is moving to lower to higher, then it will be lost energy. So what is the formula? That is the VL. So that is 2 pi beta Z square divided by NS, right? What is beta? Beta is the 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, right? So beta is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 that we used in your electrostatic. So this is the beta. I think you know all about it. And remember one more thing, that Vn is nothing but V1 by n. So V1 is the first orbit velocity. What is V1? V1 is the velocity of the electron in the first orbit. What is V1? This is the velocity of electron in first orbit. Then what will be the second orbit velocity? That means second orbit electron velocity. That will be V1 by 2. So this one is from this equation, right? So then what is the radius? That is nothing but R0 n square by J. Then what is energy? Energy is nothing but minus 13.6, that is Z square divided by n square. So these are the various formula of your atomic physics. You try to remember. N is the nth orbit. So this is the first orbit, that is your ground state. Then your first excited state, that will be n equal to 2. What is second excited state? That is n equal to 3, right? So ground state is n equal to 1. Okay. So these are the velocity, radius, and energy formula. I just remind you. You try to remember and try to remind your mind that what we have studied in our CHS level. If you have notes, then please study it. Otherwise, find in the Google or YouTube. That will be helpful to you to find out these things. Okay. Now, when actually electron in the higher orbit is unstable, right? It is stable in the ground state. So electron will try to come to its stable state. Higher orbit is unstable, lower orbit is stable, right? So electron टा जेतेबेले higher ରୁ lower को आसीबा पई चेष्टा करिवो, काहेकि stable होबा पई चेष्टा करिवो, तो से कोन करिवो एनर्जी टा रिलीज करिवो. आ से एनर्जी टा रिलीज कला बेले से गोटे वेव फॉर्म रे रिलीज करिवो. बिकॉज़ क्वांटाइजेशन एनर्जी हम जानिचे जोटा ई होची hmu, आ एटा हमरो हायर स्टेट रू लोअर स्टेट को आसीला बेले रिलीज करिवो, राइट? सो एटा होची hc बाय लैम्डा. तो आमे वेवलेंथ तापन जितने हायर स्टेट रो लोअर स्टेट को आसुची ये गोटे वेव फॉर्म रो एनर्जी रिलीज करूची. आ सेटा को पर्टिकुलर फ्रिक्वेंसी रे आमे रखिचे, तेनो पर्टिकुलर ऑर्बिट रे आमे रखिचे. तेनो जदि ग्राउंड स्टेट को आसुची ता माने हायर स्टेट को जदि ग्राउंड स्टेट को आसुची ताको आमे कहउचे लीमान सीरीज. आ जदि हायर स्टेट को फास्ट एक्साइटेड स्टेट को आसुची ता माने एटा ला n1 और एटा ला लीमान सीरीज. और एटा ला n इक्वल टू 2 जदि हायर स्टेट को सेकंड स्टेट को आसुची ताला हम ताको कहउचे बाल्मर सीरीज. आ जदि हायर स्टेट को थर्ड स्टेट को आसुची ताला हम कहउचे पास्कल सीरीज. तापर ब्रैकेट तापर पी पॉइंट तो एमिति रहउची. आ एटा तुम माने जानि थिबो, जदि भी जानि न पुनी थरे से नोट को जा तो तुम माने एनर्जी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आ केमिति रिलीज होउची तो ई सब विषय रे जानि परिबो. ओके. सो हमको कौन कहिचे ना इलेक्ट्रॉन टा जंप करूची फोर्थ ऑर्बिट रू सेकंड ऑर्बिट को, राइट? फोर्थ ऑर्बिट रू सेकंड ऑर्बिट. तो n इक्वल टू 1 एटा ला ग्राउंड स्टेट, और n इक्वल टू 2 एटा ला फास्ट एक्साइटेड स्टेट. ये ला तुम्हारा ग्राउंड स्टेट, right? And this is first excited state, this is second excited, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth. Okay. So remember, first excited state means n equal to 2, ground state means n equal to 1, and this is n equal to 2, this is n equal to 3, and this is n equal to 4. तो से कोची इलेक्ट्रॉन टा जंप करूची फोर्थ ऑर्बिट रू सेकंड ऑर्बिट को, ता माने फोर्थ ऑर्बिट को सेकंड ऑर्बिट को. आ गोटे पॉसिबल केस कोन होई पारे ना थर्ड रू 2 को भी आसी पारे. यस हम नाही तेणु एटा निकाल 5 तापर 5 रो भी 2 को आसीबो, 6 रो भी 2 को आसीबो. तेणु जोटा थर्ड रो 2 को आसुची सेटा को हम कोन कहबा फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ बाल्मर सीरीज. आ जदि 4 रो 2 को आसुची देखा एनी फर्स्ट को आसीला माने लीमान सीरीज, सेकंड को आसीला माने बाल्मर सीरीज, थर्ड को आसीला माने रीमान बार्मर पास्कल सीरीज तापर पिकॉन सीरीज राइट तो सीरीज गुडा जानि थिबो सेकुडा भी जदि जानि न ताहा डिफिकल्ट हबो सॉल्व करिया पई तेनु रीमान बार्मर पास्कल ब्रैकेट सो जोटा सेकंड क्लास होचे सेटा होचे हमरा बार्मर सीरीज राइट आन कोन होचे जोटा थर्ड रू 2 क्लास होचे सेटा फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ बार्मर सीरीज जोटा 4 रू 2 क्लास होचे सेटा होचे सेकंड लाइन ऑफ बार्मर सीरीज जोटा 5 रू 2 क्लास होचे सेटा हला थर्ड लाइन ऑफ बार्मर सीरीज सो जोटा नियरेस्ट आसुचे सेटा होचे फर्स्ट लाइन जोटा तापर आसुचे सेटा हला सेकंड लाइन सो एबे तुम माने आंसर पाइ जीवनी सो आंसर इज योर सेकंड लाइन ऑफ बार्मर सीरीज काहे ना 4 रू 2 क्लास होचे सो दिस इज फर्स्ट लाइन दिस इज सेकंड लाइन दिस इज थर्ड लाइन एंड लास्ट वन इज योर फोर्थ लाइन so this is first line so this is the second line that is 4 to 2 okay so try to remember all these things about your atomic physics so remember atomic physics chapter is there in your CSC level so you have to Davidson and Germer experiment I am not writing this one so this is Davidson Germer experiment so where we have studied Davidson Germer we have studied it in our quantum mechanics that's right so particle physics रे हम पढिछे quantum mechanics रे तो इंटरफेरेंस तो होनी इंटरफेरेंस टा न हेबनी ता गोटे रहउछि पोलराइजेशन आ पोलराइजेशन टा हमें इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव रे देखिछे आ फास्फोरेसेंस एटा भी नुह तेनो हमरो आसीबो इलेक्ट्रॉन डिफ्रैक्शन ओके so this is a theoretical part that is your Davidson and Germer experiment this is quantum mechanics part so the answer will be electron diffraction so this is theory part okay so I am not solving this again you come to your 24 question I am also not solving that one which is incorrect according to the cell model so you have to remember the cell model what is the cell model asking it is asking about your remember the neighbor transformation that means neighbor to one state to another state transition it is given and it is told about most important thing the magic number so there are magic number 2 8 20 then again 52 I think so you try to remember this thing so I have given a little bit about cell model in the LCD screen that means in our in our screen this is showing about the cell model so you look this and try to remember the cell model so magic number exists yes this is true about cell model the nucleus interact with their nearest neighbors only I think this is wrong actually okay nucleus in a nucleus in a nucleus nucleons in a nucleus what are nucleons proton and neutron these are called nucleons so nucleons in a nucleus so this is a atom and atom भितर किए रहउचे nucleus रहउचे आ nucleus भितर किए अछंते proton और neutron एटा को कोन कहंती nucleons प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन दुईटा ताको कहंती न्यूक्लियस आ एमाने न्यूक्लियस भितर थांती न्यूक्लियस टा न्यूक्लियस भितर थाए न्यूक्लियस कहिले प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन को बुझाए आ प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन न्यूक्लियस भितर थाए न्यूक्लियस चारि पटे इलेक्ट्रॉन घुरी थाए गोटे स्पेसिफिक ऑर्बिट रे आ एई सिस्टम टा कोन कहंती एटम सो एटा कोन कहंती एटम तेन एटम भितर रहला इलेक्ट्रॉन आ न्यूक्लियस इलेक्ट्रॉन टा न्यूक्लियस चारि पटे घुरुचे आ न्यूक्लियस स्पेसिफिक ऑर्बिट रे घुरुचे आ न्यूक्लियस भितर के होचे प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन जोटा मान कहते न्यूक्लियस आ एमाने कहा द्वारा बाइंड हेइ गछंती जनरल फोर्स द्वारा बाइंड हेइ नाहंती सेंट्रल फोर्स द्वारा बाइंडिंग हेइ गछंती ओके तेनु एटा होचे परफेक्टली रॉन्ग आंसर nucleons in a nucleus interact with a general force field that not general force field that is central force field and this is a strong field right we know it in our nuclear physics right so atomic physics also succeed nuclear physics also succeed so you have to read carefully about your nuclear physics so okay in the nuclear physics there is a mass also how we will find the nuclear mass because proton have mass neutron have also mass so what will be the mass you add both number then we will get mass but what is atomic number one more thing atomic number mass number remember atomic number जोटा proton number सेटा आ जते कि proton अछंती सेते कि electron भी अछंती remember atomic number जोटा सेटा होचे proton number आ electron number okay आ गोटे होचे mass number कोटा ना proton रो mass आ न्यूट्रॉन रो मास दुईटा दा मास नंबर मिसे कि तुमको कहा जाए मास नंबर ओके सो रिमेंबर एटॉमिक नंबर होचे प्रोटॉन नंबर केतेटा प्रोटॉन अछंती आ जतिके प्रोटॉन अछंती सेतिके भी न्यूट्रॉन अछंती सेति पई ही कुहा जाउची न्यूक्लियस टा स्ट्रांग सेंसर एटॉम टा स्ट्रांग सेंसर ओके ताको जति हम डिस्टर्बेंस करबा ताले एक्सप्लोजन होबो जोटा तो हम बम रे यूज करते तेनु एटॉम भितर रहला न्यूक्लियस न्यूक्लियस भितर रहले न्यूक्लियस ओके सो एटॉमिक नंबर होचे प्रोटॉन नंबर जोटा होचे इलेक्ट्रॉन नंबर भी आ मास नंबर होचे प्रोटॉन नंबर आ न्यूट्रॉन नंबर मिसिकी तेणु मास नंबर टा केमिति पाइबा जदि सॉरी न्यूट्रॉन नंबर टा केमिति पाइबा ताले मास नंबर रु एटॉमिक नंबर फेडी देले आमे पाइबा न्यूट्रॉन नंबर ओके सो दिस इज योर मास नंबर दैट इज m and your atomic number this is n and this is neutron number this is mass number this is atomic number and this is neutron number so neutron number केमिति पाइबा mass number minus this is your proton number or atomic mass sorry okay atomic number this is mass number this is atomic number this is neutron number okay atomic number कहिले केतेटा प्रोटॉन अछि अब जतिके प्रोटॉन अछि सेतिके इलेक्ट्रॉन अछि आ मास नंबर कहिले प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन मिसिकी अछि तो न्यूट्रॉन होछि मास नंबर माइनस प्रोटॉन नंबर ओके सो न्यूक्लियस रो रेडियस भी मने रखिबो जेमिति आमे एटम रो रेडियस मने रखिले सेमिति न्यूक्लियस रो रेडियस भी मने रखिबो सो ओके सो आई थिंक r equal to r0 into a to the power 2 by 3 or 1 by 3 okay so try to just check this a is your atomic number and r0 I think 53 picometer or 1.3 fermi I think 1.3 fermi r0 is 1.3 fermi okay so this is 1.3 fermi into 10 to the power minus 15 meter but I think this is 1 by 3 and r0 to the power 1 by 3 so this is the radius formula for nucleus okay so this is nucleus and what is the mass number that will be proton mass plus neutron mass proton केतेटा अछंती atomic number देती okay so and neutron केतेटा अछंती mass number minus atomic number so these are all simple things about your nucleus and atom I think you all know about in your CSS level so these are the important things okay so next is your 25 question so that also a theoretical question that is asking about nuclear reactor तो न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर विषय टिके देखि दबा तो सेटा से कहूची जे हम को जिनसटा न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर रे यूज करंती नि तो गोटेला हेवी वाटर आ गोटे रहउची कार्बन आ गोटे रहउची D2 ओके सॉरी H2O वाटर D2O हेवी वाटर देन योर कार्बन एंड एल्युमिनियम दा हम न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर रे यूज करंती नाही ओके सो आंसर इज योर एल्युमिनियम रहइबो न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर विषय टिके देखि दबा एटा होची न्यूक्लियर फिजिक्स ओके सो तापर 26 होचे which of the following is used in VLSI technology so this is a chip this is your chip that means that we are using your mobile phone or computer so very large scale integration और देखिबो ठीक है तो एटा होचे हमें ट्रांजिस्टर यूज करछे VLSI रे तो जानि परिबो तुम माने फील्ड इफेक्ट ट्रांजिस्टर यूज होची आगो तो डायोड यूज होतला जते बळे फर्स्ट डिराइव हेतला तो सेटा प्रॉब्लम हला तेनु काकिना तारो कैपेसिटी बहुत कम थिला तापर हमें ट्रांजिस्टर यूज करले तापर FET एबे FET यूज होचे फील्ड इफेक्ट ट्रांजिस्टर तापर हमें यूज करूचे विभिन्न टाइप रो FET भी रहउचे तो जोटा को हीट देले भी किछि हमें 0 1 स्टोर करिवार अछि 0 माने हमें ऑफ कर देबा 1 माने ऑन करिबा जोटा डिजिटल सर्किट रे यूज होचे तेबे एटा हला इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स रो टॉपिक आ तुम माने टिके पढिबो जानिबो VLSI रे चिप डाटा ओके चिप रे हमें रजिस्टर ही यूज करछे FET भी होचे गोटे रजिस्टर फील्ड इफेक्ट ट्रांजिस्टर ओके सो मन रखि था FET यूज करछे सो आंसर इज ट्रांजिस्टर next the Boolean expression for the output of the logic circuit given in the figure okay so एटा हमें सॉल्व करबा सो एटा भी होचे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स रो क्वेश्चन तुम से कोन करछे आ देखो गोटे एक्सोन गेट दैछे सो तुम माने गेट विषय रे के जानिबा को पड़िबो और गेट एंड गेट नॉट गेट सो एटा होचे एक्सोन गेट राइट एटा तो सब खई हबनी तो तुम माने को निहाती परिश्रम करिया को पड़िबो तो एटा हला हमरा नांड गेट तेणु एटा डी आ एटा होचे नांड एटा होचे हमरा और गेट राइट तेणु एटी होचे ए एटी होचे बी आ एटा हला आउटपुट आ बी होचे ए प्लस बी जोड़ा हला आउटपुट अब आन गेट रे कोन रहउचे ए बी रहउचे आउटपुट रहबो ए डॉट बी राइट अब नॉट गेट रे कोन रहउचे जदि ए रहउचे ताला आउटपुट रहबो ए बार ता माने 1 रहिले 0 0 रहिले 1 तो आउटपुट रहउचे एक्सर गेट तो एक्सर गेट कोन ना एक्सर गेट होउचे रिमेंबर এটা যদি a হয় এটা যদি b হয় এই যদি আউটপুট হয় তাহলে y কোন হবে a বার b plus a b bar okay remember this thing a bar b plus a b bar so this is the XOR gate this is OR gate right addition कर दबा then AND gate multiply कर दबा और NOT gate होची a bar तापरे हमर एटा होची XOR gate remember आ किछि हमर रहउची boolean algebra रहउची तो बुलियन अलजेब्रा तुमको मन रखा पड़िबो मु दुटा सिंपल केस कहि दउची जे जदी हमको ए बी रो बार होची ताले से होची कोन ए बार प्लस बी बार इगुडा को इंपोर्टेंट जिंस गुडा का आ ए प्लस बी रो जदी मु बार लिखुची ताले से कोन होबा ए बार डॉट बी बार राइट इगुडा होची बुलियन अलजेब्रा सो बुलियन अलजेब्रा तुम माने सर्च करके फाइंड आउट कर परिबो व्हाट आर द बुलियन अलजेब्रा so these are two important things and another important thing remember a bar is your 0 but a plus a bar that will give you okay so what is a plus a bar so that will be give you first remember this a plus a is also a okay but a plus a bar that will give you 1 remember these are important things a dot a bar so that will be 0 for simple multiplication and a plus a को जेते थोड़े भी ऐड करो से a ही होगा अब a plus a bar that will give you 1 because if a is 1 a bar is 0 1 plus 0 is 1 if a is 0 a bar will be 1 then 0 plus 1 again 1 so these are the Boolean algebra and these are the circuit okay so you have to remember these things this will use in our electronics so another thing is important that this is your x bar right that is your a bar b plus a b bar but remember it's negation that means if you use a NOT gate that will give you ab plus ab bar remember this is the output of negative of XOR gate this is XOR this is XNOR right because NOT is there when NOT is there then that will be your negation this is a bar b plus a b bar and the opposite will give you the negation quantity so this is a b and this is c right if this is a b তাহলে এইটা কোন হবে a bar b plus a b bar right না না তাহলে এটা কোন এটা হচ্ছে c তাহলে এইটি কোন বাহিরিব এইটি বাহিরিব a bar b plus a b bar into c dot negation तो मु कोन कली एटा थिला XOR गेट रो आउटपुट होची आमे जानिचे a बार b plus a b बार तमरे ए पॉइंट रे एगुडा बाहरिबो तापरे c टा NAND गेट रे ऐड हेची AND रो अर्थ होची ए दीटा को गुणिबो तो ए दीटा को गुणी देली तापरे नॉट अछि तो नॉट पाइन बाहर लगेले तो एटा होची आंसर तापरे याकू हमको सिंपलीफाई करबाको पड़िबो सिंपलीफाई करके देखैबाको पड़िबो आंसर केते आसुची तो एटा होची आंसर अच्छा ओके तो आंसर हम कोन पाइले a bar b plus a b bar into c whole negation ओके तापरे आमे यूज करबा बुलियन अलजेब्रा तो सपोज एटा होची गोटे क्वांटिटी c टा होची गोटे क्वांटिटी ताहले बुलियन अलजेब्रा कोन कहूची ना फर्स्ट रो नेगेटिव नियो तापरे ऐड करो सेकंड नेगेटिव जदि गुणा हेची ताहले मिसा हबो जदि मिसा हेची ताहले गुणा हबो एटा होची नेगेटिव रो प्रॉपर्टी तो एटा को मु गोटे क्वांटिटी नै गली याको गोटे क्वांटिटी नै गली तापरे यार नेगेटिव को ऐड कर देबी सेटा होची बुलियन अलजेब्रा काहे कि ना बुलियन अलजेब्रा कोन कहूची ना a b रो बार इक्वल टू a बार प्लस b बार राइट तेनो एटा हला a एटा हला b a b रो बार इक्वल टू a रो बार प्लस b रो बार अगेन a प्लस b रो बार कोन एटा होची a रो बार डॉट b रो बार ओके सो 8 देखो ଏଇଠି ପୁଣି ଦୁଇଟା ଆସିଲା, ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟି, ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟି। ତେଣୁ ତାର ଉପରେ ବାର ଅଛି ପୁଣି, ତେଣୁ ଇଏ କ'ଣ ହେବ a bar b bar whole bar plus a b bar then whole bar plus c bar, right? So what is okay, now okay, one more thing is important. We don't need this actually, sorry, we don't need this. Why we don't need this? Because this is x or negative, right? ମୁଁ ଏବେ ତୁମକୁ କହିଦେଲି ଯେ ଯଦି yଟା a bar b plus a b bar ହୁଏ ତାହେଲେ ୟା ବାରଟା ମାନେ ୟା ଉପରେ ଯେଉଁ ବାରଟା ଦିଆଯିବ ଏଇଟା ହେବ। ଓକେ, ତେଣୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଆମେ ଲେଖିପାରିବା, ଆମେ ଏତେ କାହିଁକି କରିବା? ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଲେଖିପାରିବା ଏଇଟା ହେଲା a b bar plus a b, a bar b plus a b bar। ୟାର ମୋଟ ମାନେ ୟାର ନେଗେଟିଭଟା, ୟାର ନେଗେସନଟା କ'ଣ ହେବ ନା a b plus a b bar plus c। So this is the answer, okay, plus c bar। So this is the answer. Okay, so you have to remember this thing, that this is a XOR gate, this is XOR gate, this is Y. Now you give a bar there, that means you give a bar there, so that will be your answer. So look to here, so this is the bar, so that will be the answer. Then এটা হচ্ছে XOR gate টা negative টা, okay? So your answer will be, I think, option B. So no, this is option, okay, this is option A, okay? So option A will be your correct answer. So this is XOR and this is AND gate. So we have this is output, XOR gate and AND gate. Then take the negative, then use the Boolean technique. So since it is multiplied here, so that will be one part and this will be one part, then add them. So AB bar plus C bar. So this is your answer. Okay, now question number 28. Okay, I am not doing that one. This is simple. Digital circuit can be made by repetitive user. Digital circuit can be made by repetitive user. एटा बुझिबाक चेष्टा कर। से कहूची जे को सर्किट टाकू जदि आमे रिपीट करबा ताहले आमे डिजिटल सर्किट गुडा को पाई परिबा। माने एमिति गोटे सर्किट अछि जाहा को आमे यूज करके AND पाई परिबा, OR पाई परिबा, XOR पाई परिबा बा XNOR पाई परिबा। तो सेही गेट टाकू कोन कहंती यूनिवर्सल गेट, राइट? तो सेटा कोन कहंती यूनिवर्सल गेट। तो एटा मु कहूनी तो मने रखि था यूनिवर्सल गेट दुईटा अछि, गोटे होची NAND आ गोटे होची NOR। सो व्हाट आर द यूनिवर्सल गेट? वन इज NAND एंड अनदर इज NOR। सो NAND किंबा NOR को यूज करके आमे सब सर्किट गुडा को काढी परिबा। तो एटी से भी कहि छी कोटा को आमे रिपीट करी करी आमे अलगा सर्किट गुडा को डिजिटल सर्किट गुडा को फाइंड आउट कर परिबा। तो आंसर कोन होबो NAND किंबा NOR। एक्चुअली आंसर होचे यूनिवर्सल गेट। सेटा को आमे कहूचे यूनिवर्सल गेट जोटा को रिपीट करके आमे लॉजिक सर्किट बाहर कर परिबा। तेनु यूनिवर्सल गेट काहबो को दिटा को कहंते गोटेला AND गेट आ गोटेला NAND गेट। रिमेंबर यूनिवर्सल गेट रो मीनिंग होचे जोटा को रिपीटिव यूज करके लॉजिक सर्किट काढ परिबा। तुमको क्वेश्चन रे डेफिनेशन पचारि देछि, तेनु सेटा होचे यूनिवर्सल गेट। आ यूनिवर्सल गेट होचे दुईटा, गोटे होचे AND गोटे होचे NOR AND or NOR, sorry, NAND and NOR, NAND and NOR. So these are the universal gate. Then answer कोटा हबो NAND gate हबो 19 or 39. तेनु NAND gate हबो answer. तापरे question number 29. So answer, this is 28 question answer, and 29 asking about counter. Okay, so try to remember simple things about counter, because counter is a big topic and you have to understand so many things. So which is asynchronous counter? Remember, asynchronous counter called as ripple counter. Okay, this is called as ripple counter, or if anything else you search it in your Google. So try to read more basic things about the digital electronics. So this is counter asking about you. Then what is the rectifier, diode, transistor? So these are the small things. I think you know about rectifier, transistor in your CSS level. So the important thing here is the memory chip. You have to remember that is VLSI, LSI, that is transistor used. Okay, and another thing is your counter here given. So 29 answer is your ripple counter, maybe, or you check this. This is asynchronous counter are known as ripple counter or modulus counter or decade counter. multiple check counter. Okay, so that may be a ripple counter. Okay, so check it. Now what is the question number 30? According to Schrodinger equation, a particle is equivalent to a what? So this is, we enter to quantum mechanics. So this is your quantum mechanics question. So 30 question, a particle, actually quantum mechanics रे हमें कौन करछे, particle आ wave ए दुईटा को हमें कंपेयर करछे, राइट. तेणु वेव टा होची गोटे सिंगल जिनसटे, तेणु पार्टिकल टा को हमें जदि कंपेयर करबा पई चाहिबा वेव पैकेट नेबा को पड़िबो, राइट. पार्टिकल रो गोटे पोजीशन टे हमको डिस्क्राइब करिवो जे वेव फॉर्म टा केमिति होची, किंतु गोटे वेव पैकेट नेले ही हमें पाई परिबा हमर particle. So answer will be wave packet. Remember, एटा भी एक मेमोरी को बेसिक थिंग कहा जाय थिबो, जे वेव पैकेट नेले भी हमें पार्टिकल को रिप्रेजेंट करबा. तेने जोटा होची तुमर psi इक्वल टू a sin kx minus omega t, राइट. सो ए थ्रू हमें दुटा जिंस पाई परिबा, जे हमर ग्रुप वेलोसिटी आ फेज वेलोसिटी. सो फेज वेलोसिटी होची कोन, आ जोटा होची ओमेगा बाय k, किंतु ग्रुप वेलोसिटी कोन जोटा होची d omega by dk, right. So remember, these are two important thing. And another thing is that is your m star, right. So this is the equivalent mass actually. So this is the phase velocity, that is omega by k, and group velocity d omega by dk. Now what will be omega equal to k into b phase. Now you substitute in place of omega, you will get the relation between vg and b phase. Okay, so what is k? K is nothing but the wave, that is the constant, that is the spin constant or your force constant, that is k equal to 2 pi by lambda, right. So if you transform this k to k, okay, k equal to 2 pi by lambda, ताले dk केते होगा? What will be dk? dk will be minus 2 pi by lambda square into d lambda, right. This is lambda square. Here this is the derivative actually. You can find this. This is the derivative. dk equal to 2 pi by lambda, sorry, k equal to 2 pi by lambda. Take the derivative with respect to lambda, then multiply this d lambda to right side. Then you will get this dk. So you can find, this is your task. You can find the relation between b phase and b group. You substitute w equal to k into b phase here. Then take the derivative. You will get the relation between vg and b phase. Then transfer this dk into lambda. Or k into lambda, then you will get the relation in terms of lambda. So these are several questions. So this is your effective mass. What is m star? That will be effective mass. Okay. So I think the effective mass formula also is there. That is also asking in your quantum mechanics. So these are the simple things asking you to your quantum mechanics. And one more remaining. So that is your, okay. So another is that your work function, then your work function, that is if Einstein's law, that one, if some energy is acting to it has some energy, so E equal to, that is your work function plus kinetic energy, right. So E equal to, we call it as W0. This is the incident energy. ताले किछि इंटरनल एनर्जी रोची यार, तापरे ये मूव करूची, तामाने एटा गोटे मेटल अछि, मेटल ऊपर गोटे लाइट पडुची हला. तो यार किछि वर्क फंक्शन अछि जोटा होची इंटरनल एनर्जी. तेणु आमे गोटे एनर्जी टे देले इलेक्ट्रॉन टे को एमिट करबा पई, आमे गोटे लाइट देले इलेक्ट्रॉन को एमिट करबा पई. तामाने देखो, जदि गोटे बड़ पत्थरटे अछि तो आमे ताको जदि कम रे धक्का देबा से पत्थरटा हलिबनी, किंतु आमे जदि जोर रे धक्का देबा से मूव करबो. तो सेम थिंग हियर, इलेक्ट्रॉन रो गोटे इंटरनल एनर्जी रहउची जोटा रहउची वर्क फंक्शन. तो आमको वर्क फंक्शन रु अधिका एनर्जी जदि आमे दबा ताले कोन होबो, इलेक्ट्रॉनटा तो बाहरिबो, ता सो से मूव भी करिवो हैला. फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट या ना कोन, फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट. ओके, आमे लाइट देले एनर्जी बाहरिबो, ता सहित मूव करिवो. तेनु E इक्वल टू W0 प्लस काइनेटिक एनर्जी. तेनु फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट भी देखिथिबो. आ गोटे रहउची क्रॉम्पटन इफेक्ट जोटा रहउची लैम्डा माइनस लैम्डा इक्वल टू लैम्डा c into 1 minus cos theta. So theta is the scattering angle. So what is lambda c? This is Crompton wavelength, that is h by m0 c. So m0 is the rest mass of the electron and c is the light velocity. So lambda prime minus lambda equal to s by m0 c into 1 minus cos theta. Okay. This is one is incident, another is reflected. So this is the change in, that is the change in wavelength equal to s by m0 c into 1 minus cos theta. So I think this value is 2.4 picometer, that is 10 to the power minus 12. 2.4 picometer. So try to remember this Crompton wavelength. This is Crompton wavelength lambda c, and this is the Crompton effect. This is Crompton effect and this is Crompton wavelength. So these are all small things about your quantum mechanics. This is the started of quantum mechanics, that is your photoelectric effect and Crompton effect. So try to remember these things. So this will be helpful to your exam. Okay, so that will be, I think, minus h square square by del square ek. What is del square ek? Del square ek is nothing but the second derivative, del square e divided by del k square. So this is the effective mass formula. So try to remember, just check that this is minus h square or h square. So this is the effective mass. Your m star is minus h square by del square ek. How it will be? Because e equal to, we know that. Okay, I am just making that clearly so that you can understand. So this is del square ek, that is the second derivative of energy with respect to k. This is the weight constant or force constant. So we know that E equal to p square by 12, right? But what is p? P is nothing but h cut k. This is p, right? And energy equal to h cut omega. Remember, these are two important things. Your p equal to h cut k and E equal to h cut omega. What is h cut? H cut is nothing but h by 2 pi. So h is your Planck's constant, that is 6.625 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. So remember, this is Planck's constant and its value. Okay, so E equal to p square by 12. So what is p square? P equal to h cut k. Okay, so that will be h cut square by 12. Right, so you take the second derivative. What will be the first derivative with respect to k? That will give you 2h cut square k by 12, right? So 2 will be cancelled, that 2 will be cancelled. Then you take the second derivative, that will give you h cut square by m. Okay, so what is your m? M is nothing but h cut square by del square ek, right? So this is the effective mass. So 1 minus sign, that will remove that. So h cut square by del square ek. So this is the effective mass, that is del square E by del square. But sometimes the energy is given in complex form, so 1 plus minus sign may be there. So because the mass will be positive, so you have to take the positive, right? So what will be the answer? If it is coming negative, then you take the positive. So this is the effective mass question. Sometimes that also asks to you. So this is the second derivative of energy with respect to k, and this is the derivation. Okay, so I think you understand everything. If there are any mistake, then please comment. So we solved till 30 question, and another 40 question we will solve in our next classes. So if you like this video, then please give a like and share it so that it will be helpful to others. Please subscribe it. Subscribe कर दियंतु, काहींकि मोटिवेट करिबो अलगा वीडियो मोर वीडियो बनेबा पई. So please subscribe this channel and share so that it will be helpful to others. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.